What's up, guys? It's me, aka Raxum, and today I went and picked up some comic books from my pull list at one of my local shops, and also picked up a couple of the grab bags, which are always a blast to open up because you never know what you're gonna get. So I picked up 4 today, and we're just gonna open them up and see what we got, shall we? So let's start with this one that my little sister ripped into like a godless heathen. So. Starting off, we got an issue of Vampirella number 0, which is one of the 25-cent ones that was released as like a preview, which was really cool. I've already got that though, so we're good. Next up, we got DC Nation, which is actually the prelude to what I picked up from my pull list, which is No Justice. So that's exciting because I read the DC Nation and it's a really good issue. Next up, we got a Red Sonja, which is also one of the 25-cent issues. We got a copy of The Marvel Rising, which was a free preview to upcoming stuff involving mostly the femmes of Marvel, so something you don't always get to see. We got The Walking Dead number 163, which is one that a lot of convention goers will take to artists to draw on the cover, so it looks like the zombies are praising various people. The best one I've seen so far was Pickle Rick. We've got Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, issue number 2, which is the follow-up to the follow-up of The Dark Knight Returns, which was a great story that they tried to do in Batman vs. Superman, and it didn't work very well for them. Next up, we've got Secret Empire number 7. For those of you that never read Secret Empire, this is where Hail Hydra Captain America comes from. Next up, we've got Titans Hunt, which was one of the last stories from New 52 to involve the Titans. Somebody's just hunting down all the Titans. We've got Titans number 4 from Rebirth, which involves a fight against... I don't know. I don't recognize this guy, but he's got an evil mustache, and that's all that matters. Next up, we've got Teen Titans number 16 from the New 52, which is one of the coloring ones, which I love getting because you just... color all up on them. We've got Thunderbolts number 9, back when the Thunderbolts were still a thing, like a year and a half ago. And it's got the Eminem's 75th anniversary back page, which is always fun. We've got the Mighty Thor number 3. This is the Jane Foster Thor. For those of you who don't know what happened there, Odin's son was deemed unworthy and had to give up his powers, and Jane Foster stepped up and took over. Next up, we've got Superwoman number 4 from the Rebirth. This is after Lois Lane Superwoman died, I believe. Spoiler alert. Next up, we got Superman Wonder Woman number 28, which was a tie-in for the Superman, The Last Days of Superman. You can see that from the 4 up there in the corner. So it's part 4 of The Last Days of Superman. And this is the John Romita Jr. variant. The JRJ variant. Next up, we've got Superman and Wonder Woman Annual number 2, which is nothing to do with that story, but it's still Superman and Wonder Woman, which is always good. Superman number 13, which is the Super Monster storyline. You can see him fighting Frankenstein's monster, and it looks like the Bride of Frankenstein, so that's cool, because Frankenstein's monster's always been like a big character in the DC universe. Superman 17, which is the variant. I'm not exactly sure what storyline this is, but, you know, it's got Superman and Jonathan, which is always great. This is Superman number 50 from right before Batman vs. Superman came out. I'll let you do the honors of opening that one, since that one technically belongs to you.
They all technically belong to me?
Technically, yeah, whatever. We have Steve Rogers, Captain America, number 7, which is like right before everything really went to shit for America. The Uncanny Avengers, number 19, which is when they're hunting down the Red Skull who possesses the brain of Charles Xavier. U.S. Avengers, number 2, it takes place immediately after the first one, and... they're facing off against the Gold Skull, which was a weird villain name, in my opinion. What do we got? So this is the issue. Oh, that's a badass cover. So this is an homage, it looks like, to the Dark Knight Returns cover, or fight between Batman and Superman. He's got brass knuckles made out of kryptonite, and Superman's pissed. So, yeah. Then, next up, we've got Champions number 2. Champions was kind of the team up between all the teenage superheroes that were fed up with being Avengers, and they went and formed their own team. Empress. I have no idea what Empress is about, but it's number 3. I know it's done by Icon, which is an imprint of Marvel, but that's the extent of my knowledge of Empress. We've got The Hunt, which is done by Image. Also, no idea what that one's about, but I see a raven-looking thing and a dead horse, so we'll see how that is. And then you got an issue of Red Sonja and Conan the Barbarian number 1. For those of you who don't know, Red Sonja first appeared in an issue of Conan the Barbarian back in the 70s, and everyone loved it. Next up, we're going to do this guy, because I ripped into this one like a godless heathen, because I was excited. Ooh, we've got Secret Empire number 4, and then Secret Empire number 3, and then Secret Empire number 5, so that's actually pretty good, because I don't have most of Secret Empire. We've got Mighty Captain Marvel number 9, which I believe was the last issue of the Mighty Captain Marvel before they went straight into just Captain Marvel again. Steve Rogers Captain America, which is a tie-in for the Secret Empire, as you can see from the Hydra logo. This is right before Captain America Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson just became Captain America again. So it was a split there. Harley Quinn number 16, which is the Nether Regions issue. I've actually got a copy of this already, so this was one I might be trading off. My cats are scratching and it's hitting the blinds. Next up we have Milk Wars Part 2, which is Mother Panic versus Batman. In this one we take a bunch of characters from the DC Universe and turn them into 1950s stereotypes. So you have Wonder Wife, you have Father Bruce, and, of course, Milkman Man instead of Superman. Next up is Amazing Spider-Man 797, which is leading up to the 800 issue with the story Go Down Swingin'. This is when Norman Osborn gets his hands on the Carnage symbiote. So that's cool. Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies from the Secret Wars. This is the blank variant, which is one of my favorite versions because that means I can just draw all up on it. We've got Rugrats number 1. Rugrats R is for Reptar number 1. Rugrats was kind of my jam when I was growing up. And it looks like there's a couple of different art styles in it. So that's always exciting. Invincible Iron Man number 3 with Riri Williams. And I've actually never read any of her work, so I'm excited to try this. We've got Uncanny Avengers number 23, which is Wonder Man. Looks like he's going crazy. And looks like he's already done some damage on Rogue. And Deadpool and Brother Voodoo are just standing by and hoping that they're not next. I got number 2 of the Tsum Tsum series. Yeah. Or as it looks like on this backwards camera to me, it says Must. So, but I've actually read the first issue of this way back when they first came out. I never actually got to go beyond that. I got Silk number 12, which is when she goes to the negative zone. I haven't read much of Silk, but I am excited to. And then I've also got Silk number 13. So that's cool. I have the Power Man and Iron Fist number 1 convention kickoff in-store only variant. I haven't read much of any Luke Cage or Iron Fist. Next I've got the U.S. Avengers number 1, and this is the Kentucky variant with Cannonball on it, which is great, because I do like Cannonball as a character. I have the Ultimates number 3, which is basically the alternate Avengers from different realities kind of thing. Not so much on this one. The Ultimates in their universe were the Avengers, yada, yada, yada. Man-Thing number 3, which is disturbing because it looks like she's making out with a tentacle. Let's see. Suicide Squad 19, Earthlings on Fire. As you can see, it's got a whole bunch of the Suicide Squad members fighting against the Cyborg Superman. And any story with Cyborg Superman, to me, is pretty good. I haven't been disappointed yet. Next up is Iceman number 5, where he is fighting the Juggernaut, who looks suspiciously like a Simpson under the helmet. So that's cool. Speaking of Iceman, if If you haven't seen speaking of Juggernaut, if you haven't seen Deadpool 2, spoilers, Juggernaut's in it, and it's awesome. Next up, we have Avengers No Surrender, Part 4, which is Avengers 678. I was recently talking to one of my friends who works at where I picked these up, and he said that the Avengers aren't going to make it to 700. They're just going to start the numbers over again, and that, like, they're so close. Like, after doing all the Avengers No Surrender, it would be at, like, number 790 something. Like, they're so close to doing it. Why don't they just finish to up to or 690 something? Finish to the 700. Whatever. Next up is Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye, which recently just got its next volume, which is Cave Carson Has an Interstellar Eye, which is a really cool, like, jump from just being a cyborg to like multi-galactic thing. Next we have Cyborg Rebirth, which was like the 0 issue of the DC Rebirth stuff, which is great. I haven't actually gotten to read a whole lot of Cyborg stuff. Next up, and the last one from this bag for me, is Justice League of America number 9, which is Batman's, like, darker team, with Lobo, the Atom, Killer Frost, the Ray, Vixen, and Black Canary. And I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like this guy's pissed. So that's fun. Next up is my sister's other bag. And let's see what we got. This one feels like a good one. Yeah, no, this was a good one. DC Holiday Special from last year. I have actually read this one, and it is always a treat to read the DC Holiday Specials. They just do a really good job of everything. We've got Iceman versus Iceman Part 1, which is number 8. It was right with the Rebirth, or the Legacy re-kick. So, yeah, it's young Iceman fighting old Iceman. Next up is Suicide Squad Burning Down the House, which takes place very shortly after, I think it's right after Justice League versus Suicide Squad. So that was always good. Bombshells United number 11, which is the follow-up to the original Bombshells story. I haven't really read all of that, but I have read bits and pieces of it, and it's a fun story. You get to see all your favorite heroes, in a 1940 setting. Next up, we have, she got her own copy of Go Down Swingin' Part 1. So there you go. Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies. She got the number 1 issue, but it's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant, which I have actually been reading the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or watching the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, and it's pretty damn good. Like, I have been very satisfied with how it's going. She got Black Panther number 5 with the Tsum Tsums variant, which is great because Tsum Tsum Black Panther just stole Big Black Panther's food. And Big Black Panther's just kind of like, dude, the hell. All new Hawkeye number 1 with the variant. I'm not sure what the variant is all about. I do know that it's got the Fantastic Four on it. So there's that, but it's from 2015, so it's before they started doing the bringing back of the Fantastic Four. So we'll see what that's about. She got Invincible Iron Man number 8, which is a Riri Williams comic. And again, I don't really know much about her, so that's exciting. Uncanny Avengers Stars and Garters, which is Scarlet Witch and Brother Voodoo doing their thing, as you can tell. Silk number 4. Again, the only thing I really know about Silk is that she was bitten by the same spider that bit Peter, and they are, like, madly in love with each other when they're around each other. And then she got issues 5 and 6 of that as well. So, exciting. One of them she's fighting... Actually, one she's fighting Black Cat, and the other one she's teaming up with Black Cat. So, that's cool. Power Man and Iron Fist number 2. As you can see, Power Man is very well dressed, even though he just kicked a bunch of butt. Avengers Standoff, Welcome to Pleasant Hill, was when the the Cosmic Cube was broken and everything kind of went haywire. Secret Wars number 6. This is not the Secret Wars from the 1980s. This is the new one that got rid of 99% of the multiverse of the Marvel's multiverse. So, Man-Thing number 3, again making out with the tentacles. We've got the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 13. So it looks like she's about to do the fastball special with her sidekick Tiptoe, who's about to do the fastball special with his sidekick, Ant-Man. So that's fun. Next up is Suicide Squad number 27. All I know is it's got Harley Quinn riding a dinosaur, and that's good enough for me. Batman 25, second printing, The War of Jokes and Riddles, which is a phenomenal story from what I've heard, and I'm hoping to catch up on that because I haven't gotten to. Secret Wars number 3 is another one of the Secret Warriors. Number 3 is a tie-in to the Secret Empire, again, because of the Hydra logo. Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, 15 years later. Renew Your Vows is an alternate timeline where Peter Parker and Mary Jane didn't get their marriage undone with a stupid deal with Mephisto. So now they have a daughter, Annie, and it looks like they're a crime-fighting trio now, so it's not just Peter out there. So yeah. Wonder Woman number 38, which is Swan Song Part 1, which is always, Wonder Woman comics are always a good story, and the artwork has been gorgeous, so there's that. The Death of Hawkman number 1, which was a lead-up to Dark Knight's Metal because Hawkman was missing for a long time. And it looks like he's fighting some kind of cosmic space demon with Adam Strange. And Adam Strange has always been one of my favorites of the background DC characters. And then lastly for her batch we have Planet of the Apes Green Lanterns, which kind of confirms that the Planet of the Apes exists within the DC universe / multiverse. So that's cool. Now we get to my last batch, which I'm excited for because, the first batch was pretty good. Let's see how well this second batch turns out. Alright, so right off the bat, we've got Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider number 3, which I love the Robbie Reyes version of Ghost Rider. When I saw him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I came unglued because of just how awesome he looked. We've got Deadpool 17, which is a tie-in for Marvel Civil War 2. This is the issue that explains why Deadpool is the way Deadpool is. Scooby Apocalypse number 8, which is the... Scooby Apocalypse is basically zombie apocalypse, monster apocalypse of Scooby-Doo. And in more recent issues, some major characters have gone down, which is unfortunate, but it happened. Next up is the Flintstones number 5. Marvel, or DC, got the rights to a bunch of the Hanna-Barbera characters and gave them all gritty, real-world reboots, which is really cool. The Flintstones is one of the better written ones, and I'm glad I finally have some of the issues to work with. Next up is the Astonishing Ant-Man number 13. As you can see, he's on the beach, enjoying a sunset with his sweetheart. Clones Conspiracy Dead No More number 1, which I actually have a copy of this, so I can tell you that it's actually really good. Death of X number 2. I actually haven't read Death of X, which leads up into the X-Men versus Inhumans story, which I do know is pretty good. Superman number 50, I feel like is the exact same one that my sister got, but let's find out to be sure. Because if it is, I love that cover, and I think it's a great one. So, yeah, it's the exact... Nope, mine is different. So his brass knuckles made out of kryptonite are not glowing, and it seems like there's only 2 colors on this cover, which are red and yellow. So I got one of the variants, which is really cool. Superman number 20, which is Black Dawn of the Rebirths. Superman Wonder Woman number 29, which is part 7 of the Final Days of Superman. And it's got Supergirl instead of Superman on the cover. I also got that Superwoman number 4, which is already been talked about. Also got Mighty Thor number 3. Thunderbolts number 2, which is cool. I don't know a whole lot about the Thunderbolts other than that they're basically the Dark Avengers. Titans number 5, which is basically the older Teen Titans, as well as Titans number 6, and the Rebirth issue. Then I've got Titans Hunt number 8 and 7. 7 is the Ramita variant. And then I got Secret Empire number 2, Dark Knight 3 Master Race number 2, and then The Walking Dead issue, Marvel Rising, Red Sonja, DC Nation, Vampirella, and then Death of X number 3. Sorry, those one that I just flipped through were all just the ones that I've already showed you guys. So, bazam. So, yeah, that's my grab bag adventure, and I'm glad that you guys are tagging along for it. So, keep your eyes out, and you guys will see some more fun stuff like that in the future. Thanks for watching. Yeah, click on these other videos right here. They're good. Maybe right here. Whichever side they're on, they're good. So,